Newark Museum used to be. So for anybody that's been around Newark a little bit longer than me, you'll know exactly where we are. We're in the opposite corner to the Navigation pub. I've got a beautiful river view from my desk. It's stunning. Even when it's raining, it's stunning. And Linda wanted me just to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do. We're a mental health charity. We were set up by a gentleman who is fairly local. He's from Sheffield. His name is Adam Shaw. And as a child, he had very debilitating OCD and anxiety and became a very successful businessman, made an absolute fortune, I do believe, and now lives in Florida. Who can blame him? And what he wanted to do with some of his money was to set up a charity, hence the Sure Mind charity. He's picked Newark because he knows Newark and he wanted his office to be in Newark. He also decided to set up a publishing company. So we also have a publishing company, which is our sister company. So any profits that the publishing company make, that money gets carried back into Sure Mind. There are 4 people that work for Sure Mind. We do some amazing work, and there's only 4 of us. All of our salaries, all 4 salaries, are funded by Adam and another private donor. We're just starting to get a little bit of money trickling in because, as you know, it's quite hard to establish yourself as a reputable charity nowadays, and quite right, and so it should be. And we're just starting to make a little bit of traction, and we were definitely making some noises and some traction pre-COVID. And then obviously everything that we delivered, which was of a face-to-face value, we've had to stop. So everything that we deliver now, with the exception of one activity, is over the telephone or on a similar platform to the one that we're using this evening. We support anybody with a mental health problem. You don't have to go to a GP to be referred, because getting a GP appointment before COVID was difficult. It's even harder to get a GP appointment at the current time. And our ethos at Sure Mind is we want our mental health support to be accessible to anybody very, very quickly. I had a lady reach out to me yesterday via Facebook, and I've just set her up with a telephone befriender this afternoon. That's how quickly we can set stuff up, because we don't have the hoops to jump through with regards to the referral process. So our Breathe Cafe used to be held 3 days a week within the Let's Escape Cafe in the Butter Market. We used to be upstairs in the Butter Market, but we got thrown out for the new pub. So the guys at Let's Escape had us in there, and it worked beautifully. I used to also go into Newark College every week and do a pop-up Breathe. The concept that we use with our Breathe cafes, it's about providing a safe space for somebody, and it matters not where that space could be. It could be a park bench if that person felt comfortable. It could be a cafe. It could be anywhere they fancied, anywhere that they felt comfortable. We can provide a safe space for somebody. I used to go into the Magna School every Friday afternoon and just be a sounding board for any of the pupils that wanted to come and offload. We can't do as much physically at the moment, and in particular at this current time. Apart from our mindful meanders, I didn't want to use the word walk because that would definitely put some people off if they thought I was going to march them around the castle grounds and up and down the river, which is exactly what I do. But if I used the word walk, people wouldn't have wanted to have joined. So we call them mindful meanders. We definitely do what it says on the tin. We meander. We look at nature. We do some mindfulness. We do those every week, but we have a different location. So the one that I run during the day on a Tuesday is in the castle grounds, which is beautiful. And then the one that runs at 5:30 till 6:30 in an evening at the moment is at the Sconce and Devon Park. and then we are going to move it to a floodlit location within the next couple of weeks, so we can continue, but we can continue to do those safely. Week 1 during the day I had 6 people, week 2 I had 10, and on Tuesday I had 14. So people, even though it's getting colder and damper and it's a bit slippier underfoot, people are starting to see the value of coming out. So I think we had people, because of the social distancing, we had people sitting on every bench, I think, just having a chat. And people can access those. They're completely free of charge. All of our services are free of charge, with no hoops to jump through to go and be referred by a GP back into our service. All of our volunteers are trained in DBS. Um, we're looking for additional volunteers to join our little army of volunteers. When COVID hit and the lockdown was enforced, I very quickly put into place a telephone befriending service, and that continues, and that will always continue. I have volunteers that live in Surrey, in London, in Wales, in Scotland, in Wimbledon, because it matters not where the volunteer may be. It's about having a volunteer who has a willingness to give a little bit of their time. That can be 10 minutes a month to an hour a week to 2 hours a month to 3 hours a week, entirely what that individual feels that they have the time to be able to give to our organisation. We always look for volunteers who want to do something and help us raise some much needed funds to help us expand our services. So if anybody wants to come and climb Mount Snowdon with me next year, May the 22nd, there is gin at the top of the mountain. Yeah, I'll be taking gin. Please, the cost of that is covered through the charity. If anybody wants to do that, if it's a lifetime ambition, it never was one of mine. Mine is to marry Freddie Flintoff, but apparently I've got to climb Snowdon first, which seems a little unfair. Please get in touch, come along and join us. Anybody wants to make cakes to sell at work to raise some money for our services to expand, then again, please do. I've been approached just this afternoon by a chap that runs the girls' football teams in Newark, and he's desperately wanting to make sure that his girls, throughout the next couple of months, have some additional emotional support. So we're going to get together. Hopefully, I don't have to play football. It's just about being around and looking at how your physical health and your emotional health are very, very much interconnected. But he's noticed that during the last lockdown, the girls started to lose a little bit of their sparkle, and he's trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again. We're always open to new ideas and initiatives that people perhaps have tried in the past and they were really successful, and for one reason or another they've stopped. Please come to us. If you have an amazing place where you walk and you take in some mindfulness and perhaps some nature, and you think that would be a really great place for us to come and have a wander, then I can add to our portfolio of mindful meanders. I don't know if anybody's got any questions about what I've just said.
That's really, really interesting, Sue. Anybody stick their finger up that I can see? Got a question for Sue? I'm just having a quick look there. Oh, Margaret. Hello, Margaret. We can't hear you. You need to unmute, Margaret.
Oh, look at that.
She's the expert.
Oh, she's done it too hard and she's
pressed it twice. That's me.
Yeah, we always do it.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go, Margaret.
Hello.
I'm really sorry. I've only just been able to join, so I came in at the tail end of your talk.
That's okay.
If you could just say who you are again and what you do.
I'm Sue, and I'm the charity manager, Margaret, of the Shore Mind mental health charity that's based in Newark, but we deliver services throughout the UK.
All right.
And I was just saying that at the moment, we're having to do a lot of our support over the telephone or over platforms such as this tonight. But we also do oh, she's moved.
Yeah, that's all right.
But we also do 2 walks as well. We do a walk a week. Our Breathe Cafe that we used to run in person now runs weekly over Zoom. So again, like the walks, we do one in an evening and one during the day, because we'd like to try and capture some individuals that work as well that would like to join in. So
That's
for an hour,
maybe you can put the details on the chat for us, so that everybody can have a look at. Because I'm assuming you have a nice little website and a nice little.
Oh, we have an amazing website. We're very blessed because our marketing manager is a lady who's a Newark lady. She's the current chair of the Newark Business Club. A lady called Kerry McGarrigle. People might know her. She's our marketing manager. She makes me do videos and take photos and all sorts. She's all over everything. So yeah, we will definitely send you all of our information over.
That's brilliant.
And also about the publishing side of things. All of the books that we produce are lived experience, which very often is a little bit more digestible for people when they've had a recent diagnosis, rather than a doctor or a professional telling them how they may feel. Sometimes it's quite nice to read how somebody else has felt, and it just seems a little bit more tangible, and it's that real lived experience. So if there's anybody that wants any support or assistance about looking at a particular condition, please come back and give us a nudge. If anybody wants any looking at perhaps community groups, some mental health awareness training, looking at some of the signs and symptoms that people in your local community may display, and you might, as a community group, you may want to understand some of those signatures a little bit better, then please come to us. There's no charge. I'll happily come along and deliver some training and some guidance, really. I don't know if anybody's got any more questions.
Yeah, anybody got any more questions?
It's like having a huge interview.
No. We're all lovely. It's not like
you are all lovely.
After having one this week, and that's lovely, Sue. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I've certainly seen your name around, but I'm not
sure if that's a good thing.
Well,
or a bad
not you
thing.
Personally, but
no.
But it's nice to know exactly what it's all about.
Yeah, any questions, please don't hesitate. We're really, really friendly. We're only a small staff team of 4, but we all jump in when somebody's off and what have you. We all know what's going on. So yeah,
that's brilliant.
Please come and give me a shout. Thank you for having me this evening.
No, it's been delightful.
Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank you very much, Sue. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Julie, are you ready, Julie?
I'm always ready.
You disappeared again. Oh, you moved again, Julie. So Julie Reid, as you know, is going to talk to us about the Collingham medical practice. So over to Julie.
Okay, so I've got 2 hats. I'm wearing 3 tonight, actually. So first one, Collingham Medical Centre, and thank you very much for everybody. We've had some really nice comments and feedback about the flu clinic and how it worked, our first pilot. So we're going to repeat, but with more people. So the flow will be much quicker in the queue next time, which is this Saturday. And most people are very kind and offer very constructive feedback. So thank you to those that do. Only yesterday, a community member reminded me that it still talked about shielding on our telephone messages, which of course I haven't listened to for a month or so. So that was very kind and we were able to update that. So keep those suggestions coming, they're very valuable. Now in the medical centre, we're still offering triage. We're currently handling between 300 and 400 calls a day. So that's about 5% of our registered population are calling us every day. Of those calls, we're seeing or handling 90% of those on the day. So people are getting support and advice on the day that they call. We are only bringing around 10% down because actually only 10% need to be seen and supported, and they're being clinically triaged to either the red, amber or green doors, which we've talked about before, and that's about making sure that we can support everybody in a very safe and COVID safe way. So those systems still are in place and will continue to be. In terms of the medical centre and people attending the medical centre, we continue to ask that people do not attend unless they have an appointment. we are getting an increasing number of people just popping in because they're passing. They are potentially making what we're trying to keep as a very quiet space so that we can keep everybody distanced. They're trying that makes it cluttered and crowded, and that potentially puts themselves and others at risk. So we do ask that people call. We can email stuff, we can telephone and talk to people. We've even been doing video conferencing with the GP teams. They've done some video consultations for those that wish them. And we've even been checking IDs by video call, so that people don't need to come in if we don't need to. We just need to keep the traffic low to protect everybody. You will have all have read last night that, of course, Nottinghamshire is currently on a very careful watch list, and the Public Health in Nottinghamshire have advised last night that households should not mix. That does include Newark and Sherwood and the village of Collingham and its patients. So they are expecting a big public health announcement tomorrow. The NHS is expecting to hear it at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that will relate to Nottinghamshire because our rates are increasing quite rapidly. So it is really important that people contact us first, and then we would decide clinically how it is best to help them. So if we can continue to do that, that would be super. In terms of the PPG, which is the sign behind me, now is that back to front for everybody, or can you actually read? It is. It's thrown me because it's back to front for me as if it was a mirror. But
yeah, I think it's all right. I think it's all right. It's a long way away. I can see it says PPG, but I can't read anything. Oh no,
I think I probably
participation. I can read the bottom one, so we must be all right.
I'm learning, so we'll bring it closer next time or the next time. So we've got a great patient participation group who meet virtually monthly at the moment. We feedback all our suggestions. They give suggestions to us. They help us with all the patient information that comes out to you. They help us get all that information into parish mags for you. We had a great group of 16. We're down to 14. So we do know we have a couple of vacancies for couple of volunteers. So if anybody knows anybody who wishes to be able to support the patient participation group, we have a couple of available slots. We like to keep it to around 16 because when we do meet round a table, that's how many we can host. So it's very clear. So if you would like and are interested in joining the PPG, please contact Linda Dale. She is our current chair. You can contact her directly or via a little note and pop it in our letterbox and we'll pass it on to her. So either way, that would be super. In terms of the pharmacy then, we continue to support from the pharmacy. Those who visited in the last week or so will have noticed a new one-way system. We can now house or host 4 people queuing indoors. 2 of those queuing points have seats. We need to keep seating and things inside, and it's all part of the environmental cleaning. So everything is cleaned down at least twice a day, usually 3 times a day. So we've had a query this week about pharmacy, Collingham pharmacy closing at lunchtime, that we didn't advertise that. I have checked all the websites and it does suggest we close at 1 and open at 2. It was an anonymous comment, so it would be grateful if anybody knows. I may have missed some marketing material somewhere where it's incorrect. So we're continuing to do that and we're cleaning during those times. So that's going well. The pharmacy delivery scheme has started. So we have now got a number, I think it's 40 that have signed up in the week. We've only been live for a week on that. We've had 40 sign up and people are signing up each day. From a cost point of view, because we are only a small independent pharmacy, we're not part of a big chain, we need 109 to cover the mileage costs of delivery. So that's without so we should be able to achieve that. Early signs are that that is practical and therefore it will be sustainable. So that's looking good. So if anybody would like to join or sign up for the delivery scheme, it's £55 a year per person, unlimited deliveries for the year for that, and you get your forms from the pharmacy, or we again can email them out if you're not mobile. Flu clinics have gone really well. so far, and our next one is this Saturday. We're looking for over 1,000 people to work through the building this Saturday. So the queue will be slow moving and coming, and I think most people who are attending will have been given some guidance of what the process is before they attend. We've got a new team supporting our care homes, so we'll see a couple of new community nurses supporting us in the next, well, they've already started in the last few weeks, and they will be visiting and supporting the care homes, which means that our GPs will be able to stay on site a little bit more and support virtually in order to help more people at the medical centre. So they're sort of the quick highlights from this. Any questions?
Thanks, Julie. That's brilliant. It's just the thought of 1,000 people making their way through the medical centre on Saturday. I might come and watch, if nothing else. Yeah. Thank you very much. Has anybody got any questions?
Once, Stella.
Oh.
Over 8 hours, they will drift the way through. Yeah.
Wow. That's still brilliant. It's still brilliant. Anybody got any questions for Julie? No. Thank you, Julie. As always, a really good roundup of everything that's happening at the medical centre there. And I know, I said to you before, from speaking to my colleagues at work, how blessed we are to have you guys down there and at the pharmacy, because other people aren't so lucky, in my experience. So thanks very much. Thanks very much. Good. So over to Hayley now, who's going to carry on for a bit.
Thank you, Julie. So I'm just going to intro the business sector, really. So if anybody didn't know who I am, I've got the beauty salon in Collingham. So that's sort of why I've decided to, or I've inherited the business section, which I was glad to have. So first up, we've got Sophie. So Sophie's great. She works behind the scenes doing lots of things, but she's going to just do a bit of a chat about Gustos and what's going on with Gustos.
Yeah, it's just a really quick one from me. So I'm sure a lot of you know Steph, who originally started Community Conversation, and you know about the Gusto group, which sits above, and then within that, Steph has numerous businesses and new ones in the pipeline as well, which is exciting. One side of his business is the Gusto Homes, which I'm sure you all see in Collingham, with the future site where Stella lives, actually, which is lovely. So Georgia, who's working at Gusto Homes at the minute, has just asked me to do a little bit of a shout out for local companies, businesses, organisations, because the plan is when they have new home buyers, they'll be sending them a nice little handover pack, which will include a few discounts from local stores, vouchers to use, information about businesses. I know Hayley's already getting involved to have a little bit of a push for her beauty business. So it's really good. I think it's a great way to introduce people into the area, to get them spending in the area, to spend locally as well, which is also really, really important. And it's a perfect way to get to know them and for them to get to know you. So if anyone does want to be involved in it, if they think they've got something to offer, or if they want a little advert, I don't know how it's going to work, but Georgia will be in charge of it all. I'll pop her email into the chat, so you can just copy that. And then if you do want to speak to her, you can email Georgia on that and she'll get it all sorted for you. So just a really, really quick shout out there. I think I'm in charge of passing over to Margaret, who snuck a little email in today asking if she can be involved. So here she is. I'm sure she'll tell you all about what she's doing. We'll unmute you, Margaret. So where are you? Can you do it yourself? You've nearly done it.
I can try.
Perfect. Amazing. I'll pass it over to you. You can take the floor now.
Oh, thank you. Right, again, apologies for arriving late, but I had problems accessing the Zoom. I had to restart my iPad. I've been making masks for various different people since the beginning, because I felt that even when they were telling us that we shouldn't wear them, I felt that they were important. Now it looks as though we're going to have to wear them for a lot longer than possibly most people thought originally. So last month I put a piece in the Fleet saying that I was offering to make masks at £2 for £1. They're cloth masks, they're fitted, they've got a proper nose clip, they've got elastic, they come in two fittings. One is you wear over your head like this, and you can just leave it down when you're not in a area where you need to wear it. And the other one is with ear loops, which obviously most people are familiar with. I've got various different colours. What I've done is I've got pillowcases and duvet sets and things from Asda, and I've been cutting them up and making masks. They're all machine stitched, top stitched. Most of the people, well, so far all of the people who've received them think they're really quite good. The £1 is really just a token towards the costs. It cost me a bit more than that, but I'm happy to do it because it keeps me occupied, and also I feel that I'm contributing towards other people. I was surprised that I got about 3 or 4 different orders for them when I first started, but they've dried up since. So I thought I'd find out if people were maybe hadn't heard about them, didn't know, and might be interested. I've got lots of different colours. That's a green, grey, very snazzy one, which used to be a skirt. That's a green again, royal blue, lilac, and various different pinks. So if anyone's got any questions, pardon?
You've definitely been busy there, Margaret. They look fantastic. So how can people get hold of them then? Are you in the village? Are you in Collingham?
Yes, I'm at 3 Cawthorne Close. The number's 894027. It was in last month's Fleet, so if anyone's still got last month's Fleet, there's a post in there.
Yes, Julie. Yeah. Did you want to say?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Margaret, have you got plenty of material? Because I think about what might be in my airing cupboard, and I could probably find you a few old quilt covers and sheets and various stuff. Have you got plenty?
Well, I never say no to anything. At the moment, I'm a bit short on I have, there's 2 layers of cotton and an interlining of Vilene. I'm going to have to go and buy some more Vilene, but apart from that, I'm reasonably well sorted. Obviously, I don't want to be swamped, but at the same time, it'd be nice if I could just keep going on it usually takes me about a couple of days to do 2 or 4. And if it's a small order, it's a quick turnaround. If it's a larger order, it's maybe up to a week.
Oh, we've just popped your number on the chat so people can see that.
Right.
But yeah, it's a brilliant idea, and I'm sure that you're going to have more interest, definitely. And thank you for coming on and with your fantastic demonstration as well.
My idea is that if you're going to have to wear a mask, you might as well wear a pretty one.
Exactly.
And also, you just dunk them in a jug, tip on boiling water and some soap, and let them squidge around, and then dry them, and they're ready for the next use. I always do 2 per person. I think 3 actually is better. Because that way you've always got one ready. And I put an information leaflet in every orders so that people know how to wear them properly. Because that is something that really irritates me, is people not wearing them properly.
Wearing them properly, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Margaret, for coming on as well. Thank you, really appreciate it. So we've got up next Andy Reeve, I think it is. I can see you there. Can you I don't know if you can hear me, Andy, or not. Andrew for Eagle Garden Services. I can see you there.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we just can't see you. We can hear you, we just can't see you.
Hang on a minute.
Just need your video.
I'm doing this all from my mobile phone at the moment, so hang on a minute.
Even if you
Start
just
my video.
Even if you're just a voice, that's fine. But it's always much better to be able to see you. There we go. There you are. Hi, thank you for coming on. That's great.
I'm in Scotland at the moment.
So
sorry, what was that?
So thank you for coming on. So Eagle Garden Services you are. I had a little recommend from somebody that you was going to come on and have a chat with us. So if you want to give us a bit of a chat about yourself and explain what you do and a bit of your background.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, well, my name's Andrew Reeve. I live in Swindon Station Road, and I started Eagle Garden Services in February this year. Previous to that, I did 30 years of working in zoological collections, including London Zoo and Whipsnade Zoo, and then I worked at a number of zoos throughout the UK and also abroad. Unfortunately, this year with all the COVID, I had an inkling that things would be very difficult for the tourist industry. I was furloughed and pushed the business from what was originally a part-time situation to a full-time one, because I actually was made redundant because I was in a managerial role. I was one of the highest paid people there at the time at the Tropical Butterfly House in Sheffield, and I was managing that place, and it's a family-run business, and they sensibly decided to run it in a lot smaller capacity. You know, we were 50, 60 employees in the summer, and now is down to about 20. So the Eagle Garden Services is a bit of a cliche because eagles are something that I keep myself personally, and so a lot of people think I'm from Eagle itself, which I'm not. I'm based in Swindon, and I've lived in Swindon now for 9 years. And like I say, Eagle Garden Services, the eagle came from keeping eagles as a hobby, and the horticultural side, I've been involved in it all my life, because working in zoos, especially these days, a lot of the exhibits incorporated plants and design, etc. So it's something that I thoroughly enjoy in working outside, and it's amazed me actually how busy it's become. I didn't expect it to take off as well as it has, and I've sort of gone from working from my car, growing very quickly, to purchasing a van. Many of you might have seen it. It's a red Ford Transit van with a big picture of an eagle on the side. And Collingham is one of my biggest sort of customers. I do a lot of work in Wivington Hughes, Collingham, and Eagle. They're my key 3 areas, and it's been amazing. It's also, I've been a bit horrified with working for some of the elderly people who where I think it's very difficult for them with not being ripped off, if without being sort of some of the people I've worked for are suffering from dementia, etc. So it's made me realise how vulnerable you can be when you get older. So I've enjoyed working alongside some of these ladies and gents, and kind of make sure that everything's safe and secure by paying me direct and that. So it's getting us to because time to manage gardens on a regular basis, get older.
Yeah, you just
what else can I
breaking
tell
up a
you?
little bit then. I can hear you now.
Sorry?
It was breaking up a little bit then back.
Okay, yeah. So, okay. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, that's fine. So obviously, you're covering quite a large area. So you're mainly based in Swinderby, but you obviously are willing to, to move around that. But it sounds to me as if you're quite busy anyway. But obviously, if you can put your details on the chat, so that'll get shared.
Okay, how do I do that?
Just go to the chat at the bottom. You should see it along your bottom of your screen. Can you see it? Slightly different on a phone. Or
yeah, I'm on because like I say, I'm away I'm on holiday at the moment, so I've just done it on the phone.
Okay, we can put your details on there anyway, because I've got them.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, so things have gone very well, and I've invested my redundancy money basically into the business, and I'm really pleased that in these difficult times I'm actually providing a service that people need, and I'm enjoying the work as well, so it's been great.
Oh, good. And there's definitely a call for it in this area. There's some beautiful gardens as well, so
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and
it's my pleasure. Thank you.
I'll probably see the red van driving around then at some point.
I'm sure you will. You recognise it's got a bald eagle on the side, so which is stands out quite well, and I've actually picked up a lot of custom from the vehicle and being sign written as well. So yeah, brilliant.
Lovely, thank you. So I think up next we've got, is it Chris Allen? Can I see you there on there? Hi. You just want to unmute yourself and then we can hear you. So Chris is, we've got, is it Chris is, so you are Chris, yes?
I am Chris, yes. Good evening, everyone.
Had Chris's son, but no, we've got Chris, which is even
me, yes. Some of you must probably know me as a parish councillor. I'm also treasurer of the youth and community, and more recently on the management team for the our lovely community pub called the Royal Oak. But tonight I'm going to just talk very briefly about an event that is coming up in 4 weeks' time. If you can remember, 4 weeks' time is the 5th of November, which is fireworks. And my two sons run a business called Entertainment Effects, and of course, like a number of organisations at the moment, they've lost business, and they've come up with this idea of a drive-in fireworks, and they are heavily into negotiations with the Newark Showground to do a drive-in fireworks on November the 8th, which is a Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Brilliant idea, really good idea.
They're doing two other events, one in when is it? One in Northampton and another one in Peterborough on the Saturday. So they're in demand, and they've been working very hard with the Newark Showground. All the papers are in with Newark and Show at the moment, so hopefully we will get confirmation no later than Monday that we can go ahead with it. So all I'm saying really is look out for all the banners and information that we will be putting out. I'm not actually involved with the business. I'm just promoting it for them because I live up here, they're down in Hertfordshire. So it will be by ticket sales in advance. We're hoping to get up to 1,000 vehicles in there, which and it will be all around a central display area. People will be expected to arrive obviously in time. They will be parked up in specific places whereby they can actually exit their cars as long as they do not walk any distance away from your arm touching the car, if you know what I mean, if you want to stand outside. Local radio will be playing background music in time with the fireworks, which will be something between 18 and 20 minutes of full fireworks. So that's all I'm really here to do, is to say keep your eyes open. We're just waiting for that confirmation, and then it will be full steam ahead, and hope that we get a lot of people come along and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah, that's
all right.
What a good idea as well.
I don't know if anyone's got any questions, but I can try and answer them.
So is it book via the Newark Showground, is it, or?
There will. I'm not too sure exactly how that's going to work. There will be publicity coming out where you will be able to go online and book the tickets.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully, most of the will be tickets in advance. They will take some on the night, but they're wanting to try and get it all done prior to, because it will save a lot of time at the gate.
Yeah, yeah. How can it nearly be bonfire night? Where has that time gone?
Well, there you go. I mean, we've had the the last few years, good old Gusto have done some nice events for us in the village, and a lot of people are not doing it, and at the same time they're trying to restrict people from having them in their gardens, because it will only give more business to the fire and rescue on that night. So that's why they thought this is a good idea. Let's get everyone to come in and do a drive-in.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very, very much for coming on. So
okay, my pleasure.
I just need to do a little shout out. Somebody's asked us to mention this. So Rachel from the refill station, which is the Newark Eco Refill. So it's basically been inspired by the one that's in South Clifton. We've had Adam on a few times. He runs the one there. So it's a new refill station that will be at Newark Royal Market running on Saturdays. They're asking for people to, if they could donate some empty bottles that they can keep on the stall for people who don't have any for refill. And also they've got a Facebook and Instagram page if you want to have a follow or want to have a look at what they do. So it's at Newark Eco Refill. So just a quick shout out for them. So I think now we are moving over to community, which I think I'm maybe passing that over to Stella. I'm not quite sure, but I can intro Becky anyway. So Becky's from the Oak Ridge Arena. I'm just trying to see where she is. Oh yeah, there she is. Hi Becky.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for coming on. So our community section is obviously mainly to communities, you know, things that are to do with the community. So that's obviously why Becky's come on. So if you just want to give us a bit of an introduction as to.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm hoping that my dark kind of background is giving you a spooky feel for what I'm going to tell you about. We've got at Oak Ridge Arena, if anybody's ever been there before, we go all out for Halloween. We love Halloween. So we've decided this year we're going to run a pumpkin shack. We're going to have our own pick your own pumpkins, which opens this Friday. It's going to be running every weekend, Friday to Sunday to the end of October. And it's going to be open all week during the half-term week. And it's basically a little bit of fun. It's something that we've wanted to do this year to kind of inject a bit of fun into our calendars, because it's been a bit miserable recently, hasn't it? So it's about time we had something good fun to do. This is all outdoors. We've got pick your own pumpkin, and we've also got a pumpkin bowling alley for people to do as well. It's all outdoors. It's all socially distanced. We've got this is going to be quite contentious. I think
we're just going to put the video on.
This is the decoration.
Yeah, just showing my 6-year-old this, and she wants me to book it now.
So that's the arena. You can see where the horses go, and then this is our spooky walkway. So it's all decorated and everything. There's lots of different things up there that people can look at, and we're hoping that people will turn up in fancy dress as well. There's lots of photo opportunities, bring kids down. It's not just for children though.
No.
Lots of stuff on there.
It's great because this year I was really thinking with my little girl, what are we going to do? And so when I saw that, we have been to you a few times, but when I saw this, I was like, that's where we're going to go. That's what we're doing.
Well, we've got so many cool photo opportunities there as well for people. We've got a 10-foot pumpkin apparently that is an inflatable pumpkin that's outside.
Wow.
So we've got the bowling. We've got also on the Saturday the 31st of October, we have a pumpkin carving competition, which is free to enter. So you just need to bring your pumpkin along down to our pumpkin shack. And then that's going to be judged by, I think our chef is going to be judging the pumpkin competition. We have split this into adult and child divisions because it can get a little bit competitive. We've had pumpkin carving in the past, and we've had some amazing entries from people in the past. We've had horse shows before. So if you want to bring your pumpkin down to be judged, adults win first prize, a £20 farm shop voucher. And the children, we've got a whole load of disgusting sweeties, apparently the Halloween themed sweets for the kids. So that's Saturday the 31st of October. We're also serving, our menu is autumnal themed menu. We've got lots of new coffees on, hot chocolate. I think there was a picture of that just whizzing past.
Yes, they look very nice. Yes.
Pie, mulled wine. So all of this is, we're a COVID secure venue. We take that really seriously at our place. If anybody's visited us before, we're really careful with social distancing and everything. The pumpkin events are outside as well, and we've got plenty of room in our car park, so you can just come along, park outside, and then visit the pumpkin shack. So hopefully I'll see some of you in fancy dress. I did try and find my witch hat for this evening's podcast, but I just couldn't.
You'll be seeing me. I don't know whether I'll be in fancy dress or not, but
oh,
you know,
no, come on.
I'll try and dig something out. But we've been a few times, and definitely it's felt super safe. And whoever showed us round, I'm not sure, can't remember his name, but he did an excellent job of showing us around. It was right at the beginning of everything. It was it was great. Yeah,
no, we've worked really hard with that. We've got a one-way system through the arena itself, so you don't kind of cross over the path, the path of anybody else. So hopefully everybody's felt okay there.
Yeah, no. So me and leading on to Hilary, who's going to pop on in a minute. So we met there the other day for a coffee, and it was really nice, incredibly safe, and it's a lovely venue as well. My little girl loves horses, so it's perfect.
Brilliant. Well, all the information's on the Facebook page. We've got the website as well. I'll put the autumn menu up on the website, and we'll try and, obviously, if you come down in fancy dress, we would love to get some pictures of people, to put on social media as well, and just sort of connect the village again a little bit too, because I know trick-or-treating is a big part of village life, and I don't know what it's going to be like this year, but it'd be nice to see everybody's costumes. My kids love it, honestly, Halloween.
Yeah, definitely. I keep directing clients your way. I keep saying, have you been to Oakridge yet? The Sunday dinner's really good. And so yeah, definitely pop down if you've not been. It's great.
Thank you.
So I can see Hills there waiting in, so she's going to be popping on, just chatting about village care. So over to you.
Thank you very much. Becky, by the way, shout out to you. That was some great screen craft in actually navigating everything whilst you're on Zoom as well. So thumbs up to you.
That, Hills. That wasn't me. I'd love to take credit for that. I think that was Sophie.
Okay, got you. So good evening, everyone. I'm here with my Collingham Village Care, the community transport scheme hat on. We take people to and from around the village. We take them to hospitals because the costs and actually the logistics of trying to tie up times for travelling can be quite a headache. So I first of all wanted to just shout out that a great thanks to Gusto Community Fund, who've just made a generous donation to our coffers, which is always welcome and allows us to carry on doing what we do so well. And in particular, thank you very much to Pat Proctor and Paul Hobson, who are the ones who actually nominated us as a charity recipient for that. So thank you very much indeed. I guess the next thing that I just wanted to let people know is that, notwithstanding what the very fine Julie Reid has had to say from the medical centre, if you need your medication picked up and dropped off, we are doing it for free for the foreseeable future, and you don't have to be registered with us in order for that to happen. And what we're doing is we have a network of volunteers in addition to our DBS check drivers who are, in their spare time, they're just popping out on their bikes, they're picking up the medication and dropping it off for people. And this is for Collingham Village and also South Scarl, to which, you might be saying, well, what about the rest of the villages? Well, we've also got a network of people so we can coordinate. We're perfectly pitched to coordinate with other villages as well. So that's in addition to what's happening with the pharmacy and the medical centre. So if you need something picked up, just get in touch with us through the usual Village Care number. And remember, you don't need to be registered for that. In addition to that, just a couple other bits and pieces, so I won't keep you too long. We need drivers. We absolutely need drivers. We're starting to see a pickup in the amount of service and the requests that are coming in. And even if you've just got an hour or 2 hours, you could make such a difference to someone's life, because they could be ferried to the co-op, they could be ferried just to the hairdressers, or indeed to Hayley Jane, or off for a coffee at Oak Ridge Arena. That's something that we can do. Please get in touch with us, but we need a few more drivers to do. It would be ideal for somebody who's working part-time, somebody who's working from home, or somebody who's just recently retired. So if you've come across someone like that that fits the bill, they're the most amazing and brilliant stories that people can teach us about Collingham and surrounds, and actually just the history of the place. So I'm a driver myself, and I absolutely commend it. And finally, if you're into your good causes, because we are a very good cause, then we've just registered with Amazon Smile, which is a really, really simple way of donating just a few pennies every time you shop at Amazon. So if you'd like to remember us, you can just drop down and see Collingham Village Care, and I dare say I'll put something on the Facebook page for Collingham Village Care. And if you haven't already met us on Facebook, please look in and have a look at the page. I'm certainly going to link up with Shoremind, and I do like to spread a bit of love around for the various community sectors. And actually, we have a very small way of granting a little bit of cash to people who could give something back to the community. So if that sounds like you, then please get in touch with us or contact me direct. You can IM me on Facebook. I'm Hills Carmichael. And I think that's it. I'm out of here. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you, Hills. Thank you. I've seen you zooming around a few times, and if I had the time, that would suit me down to the ground. But got a few too many hats that I'm wearing at the minute.
What, driving Miss Daisy?
Thank you. Yes, and we've just popped some information on there about Collingham Village Care. You know, if you want to get in touch. So I'm now going to hand over to Sophie and Steph, who are going to send us on a bit of a virtual tour onto a brand new exciting platform. There he is, the man himself. So I'll let him explain it all. Can't hear you. We need your mic on, Steph.
How could I fail on that?
I know.
That's terrible, isn't it? Absolutely terrible. You see, I haven't got Sophie or Jen or anybody around here to help me. Well, firstly, absolutely fantastically presented this evening. Hayley and Stella put a great show together. And sorry? Yes, we're going to go back to Stella then, because Stella's going to talk about poppies before we go anywhere. So all I was going to do with everybody that's on Zoom, but also anybody that's looking at this on our live stream this evening, I just want to introduce you to a new platform. So we're going to be moving away from Zoom, and we've got this absolutely, I think it's a world-changing platform that we're just about to start to roll out. The first event we did on it was the Newark Business Club last Friday. So if you can see it in the background here, and I'll just quickly explain the difference between coming onto the collab and going onto Zoom. So on the collab, instead of just being on the Zoom call where you can see everybody's faces, in the collab it actually brings you into our venue. So this is one picture of our collab venue, and when you come in here you land at a table, and that means you're able to talk to the people that are around that particular table. So you're effectively able to speak to people that are on your table, and you can move around from table to table. So you can jump from that table to that table. You can move on to a table of two, and so if anybody watching wanted to just be on a table with two to have a private conversation, you can do that. And then our hosts, Hayley and Stella, will jump up on the stage. So this is the stage, and they'll be able to bring guests up onto the stage and talk to people on the stage with other people in the audience. And when you're in the audience and somebody's speaking on the stage, then effectively your microphone and your video gets switched off, so nobody can see you and you can walk about and you're just listening to a presentation. And then when Hayley and Stella have finished talking on the stage, then that gives you the ability to be able to talk to people that are on your table. Now, what we're actually doing is we're designing a specific layout for Collingham, for the Collingham community conversation. We're hoping to get that done by the end of this week, and so we can launch it to you next month for the next month's community conversation. So what I wanted to do was, after Stella's wrapped up this evening, we're going to put the link up in the chat. If you click on the link, then that will bring you through into this venue. So you'll then arrive at one of these tables in here. We'd really like you to do that this evening, because if we can get you in here this evening and register, and in order to register, all you need to do is put your name, email address. It'll ask for a password, so you just create whatever password you want. That's your password, and then it'll link you through, and all of a sudden you'll find yourself within the collab. So that's what we want you to do after we finish. Just a quick bit of tech. It doesn't really work on phones, unfortunately. It doesn't work that well on tablets. It works best of all on laptops or computers. And the best browsers to use are Chrome, Firefox or Safari. So the bit of technical information: try to use Chrome, try to use Firefox or Safari. Do it on a laptop or a computer for the best results. You can get onto it on a iPad, but it works far, far better on a proper computer. So after we finish, after Stella's done a wrap up this evening, if you're listening to this on Facebook, then equally, please do click on the links or copy the link and come into the collab straight after tonight, because what we want is we want our audience for next month to actually arrive in here and actually be in the collab, and that will give our audience an opportunity to talk to each other around their table. So you might decide that you want to listen to the Collingham community conversation and sit on a table with a couple of friends, listen to it and have a chat with those friends whilst this is going on. And this opens up so many opportunities to do village parties, to do all sorts of things. And on quite a sad note, people that are listening from Collingham that have been around Collingham for a number of years might remember an old friend of mine, a guy called David Moon, who was a big character around the village. And unfortunately, he died in hospital last week. Very difficult for him to have a funeral. So I'm just talking to a few of his old friends at the moment, and we're looking to try to do a digital funeral for Dave Moon. So anybody who's listening that remembers Dave, then watch out, and over the next week or so we'll try to pull it together and put together a digital funeral for somebody that was very close to a lot of people and well known in the village. So all sorts of opportunities to do all sorts of things on here. Do jump in this evening after the meeting finishes. Click on the link. Over to you, Stella.
Thanks, Steph. That looks amazing, and I'm pretty certain I know a load of Rotarians that'll be very interested in that as well. So watch this space.
We launched it last week with the Newark Business Club, and I'm not kidding. Our interest has just absolutely bloomed. We're going ballistic here. It could be a global thing that we're launching here.
I think it's fabulous. So I'll pass the word around, and we'll have a little go. So really, I'm thanking everybody. Just brought to my attention again my Rotary link there, but we talked at our online meeting this week the fact that we're not going to be able to collect for the Royal British Legion this year, and I thought, well, it's to bring to as many people's attention as possible that instead of buying your poppy outside Waitrose or Morrison's or in the Newark Marketplace or over the counter somewhere, you can actually download a poppy now, and I think Sophie's just going to put the link up to show you. and the RBL on their website a posted link. You can either download a colour one to put in your window, or you can download one for your kids to colour. They'd obviously like you to make a donation as well. It does give amounts there, but you can just put £1 in, or £2, or whatever you'd normally donate into the collecting tin. But you can see there, you can download the poppy in colour, which you can put in your window, or indeed you can download one for you know, if you've got some young ones, or even yourself to colour in. And as it says there, every poppy does count. It's going to be a hard year for the RBL this year. There are other ways to donate, by post and by phone, as you'll see on that website, but I'm sure you'll see loads more about this coming up on the mainstream media in the next few weeks. But our next meeting here is November the 12th, which is going to be a bit late. So I do encourage you, your family, friends, if we start downloading the poppies and putting them in our windows, people are going to come and ask us, you know, how did you get that? How did that happen? So I know that's a really, really good, worthy cause. Just the final thing here, we're thinking about our meeting next month, November the 12th, when we start thinking about the jolly old Christmas. So if anybody's got any good ideas, Margaret may be making Christmas masks, or somebody might be making wreaths, Christmas wreaths, or any other decorations or gifts. Please do let us know. On the link that we sent you, you've got an email address to contact us, and you know, if it's worth adding to the you know, you'd like to be on, we'll try and fit you in on the next meeting. So yeah, the next meeting, November the 12th. I'm also interested in feedback about our slightly later 6:30 start, because that sort of fitted in better with people like me rushing home from work, and 6:30 was a lot more comfortable for me. But obviously it's not about me, it's about all of you. So thank you very much. Thanks to Hayley for helping today, and Linda, who's not here, but she's done a magnificent job in the background. And we're now going over to Steph's Magic Collab. I'm going there now. Thanks, everybody. So on your chat, you'll see the link there at the bottom there. So it says join us on the collab here. That's where I'm going now. Thanks, everybody. Bye.